Hey everyone, I'm Wendy McSwain. Welcome to the next episode of A Real Life Moment. Today's podcast is a conversation with Mike Davis, our senior pastor. We're going to talk about some new things we have going on at Real Life Church. So whether you attend in person on our campus in Lucia, or if you're on our online campus, we can't wait to tell you about some things that are changing and some things that are staying the same. Hey Mike, how are you?
Hey, Miss Wendy, I'm doing great. I hope you're well. Hope everybody else is well too.
Me too. I hope everybody is hanging in there.
The crazy world we live in, we just pray and thank the Lord for good health every day.
That's right. That's exactly right. Can you tell us a little bit about some new changes and some things going on?
Well, first of all, let me just say, I can't believe it's September the 1st. Okay, I'm still struggling to think, wow, it's a new month again. And all of a sudden, here we go. But very excited. This, as you know, the summer's kind of closed up and ended. So this coming Sunday is the end of summer, so to speak, Labor Day weekend, all that stuff. So it'll be a kind of a fresh new beginning. And what we've done is kind of taken advantage of the timing moment to share with the church family this coming weekend a message called Rediscovering Real Life Church. Now, the funny thing is this kind of all started back in the middle part of the summer because as other people were preaching and I was kind of being able to take a kind of a 100,000 view look at our church and what was going on, a lot of different things, was praying and just seeing a lot of people getting excited about coming back to church. It seemed like we weren't hearing a lot about the virus, and people were out and mandates were lifted. A lot of people were on vacation, obviously, but a lot of excitement. A lot of new people were coming to church. A lot of folks that had moved into the area were beginning to get out and investigate. So it was a lot of freshness and excitement going on during this time. And about a month ago, well, let me go before that, started sitting down and saying, you know what, it'd be really cool for us on September the 5th, if we just kind of did a relaunch of our church, kind of a new thing. I know that you are very much aware because you've been a part of some of the things we've talked about, just some new logos to help kind of better define our church, new colors, sprucing up physically our environments and different things of that nature. And appreciate all that you have obviously done to pull that off, but really excited about the fall. And then lo and behold, out of the blue, about a month ago, everything started going backwards again, which should surprise none of us because that's the world we live in today. But with all that said, even though I don't think it's necessarily influenced our attendance a whole lot at this point, I know that as we go forward, it could. Across the country, there's a lot of debate about schools and opening back schools, and some schools have closed and some go back virtual and all that stuff. So I thought, you know what, regardless of all the things that are going on in different parts of the world, in different parts of the country, what we're going to do is we're just going to it's not even a relaunch. It's really kind of just rediscovering and reminding everybody of why we do what we do. And yeah, we're going to throw out some new colors and we're going to have a new design that Wendy's responsible for. She's done a great job with. We're gonna renovate some areas of our physical plant. I'll even talk about some new partnerships in different parts of our country that we're going to help and serve and minister to. But the bottom line is, you know what? As a church, we're going to continue to worship. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to engage. And we're going to do what we've always done and just do that very consistently. But there'll be a few changes that people see and hopefully a lot of new and excitement and improvements. And if we're able to get through the pandemic, we'll see a lot more people engaged, but we're going to continue to spruce up what we do online as well, because we've seen that that's effective. We know a lot of people are reached in different parts of our country because of that. So hopefully all the things that we've all been working on during the summer will bring great fruit as we get into the fall.
Yeah, I think probably our congregation knows that we've been online, that we've worked really hard to make that a new presence. And we did things quickly because we had to. So it's been neat over the last few months to be able to reflect on that a little bit. And I think that's what you're saying too, with the praying, and how it felt like maybe it was going to be a relaunch, but now it's more just a rediscovering who we are, and new colors, new logo. But some of the things we had to do quickly over COVID, we're now able to be a little more intentional and put it out there a little bit, instead of just having to make it work that Sunday, we can say, okay, in a month, we're going to
That's
make
right.
some changes to the lobby. We're going to, things like that.
That's right. We're trying to spruce up a lot of things. And you mentioned it there. One of the big things we're working on is for our online campus. And I will be sharing specifically about that this weekend. But we've asked Nick Grice, that many of y'all know and love and appreciate. Nick is our engaged pastor. And we have asked Nick if he would be willing to consider serving us full-time on our staff and becoming our online campus pastor. So I'm thrilled about this. He's very excited about it. The first time I talked to him about it, at first he was kind of like, what? And then after talking about it, he was kind of like, Mike, there's so much potential here. And that's what thrilled me, was he caught the potential of how much this can reach, again, locally, as well as nationally and even internationally. So that's one of the things that I'll certainly share a lot more in depth about this weekend. But to really have someone who is online that can engage conversations with people, perhaps it's before the service, after the service, but engage all these people who are attending online every week. It continues to boggle my mind how God is using it. But regardless, he is. And Wendy, because of your hard work, that has launched this whole thing. And so it's a blessing that you have led it. It's now a blessing that we get to ask Nick to be a part of it as well. I think as the time moves along, this thing it's just going to continue to grow. And I'm very excited about that.
Yes, it's been really neat to see even volunteers serve there throughout the pandemic.
That's right.
And it did feel like it was something we had to do suddenly, but the team has grown slowly. And I think, the right people are in the right places, and putting, I think, God knows what he's doing when he puts people in the positions where they serve. And people may have already been seeing Nick come in a little bit on Facebook.
Good.
He's a newbie on Facebook, but he's learning, and our hosts there have done a great job. So it's just going to add to that experience. I think I hope people know that is it's a real campus. There are people that worship there every week that we may never see here. And I know a lot of our congregation appreciates that it's there for when they're not here. So it does do two things, but it's a real campus, and I'm excited to have somebody who's responsible for that. And, all of us have done what we could, and we've learned and we've done it, but Nick's going to be a great addition.
One of the things that thrilled me this summer while other people were speaking was I did have an opportunity to talk with some of these people that have joined us online at different places in different parts of the nation. And I actually had the privilege to do a little traveling in that and speak point blank to one of the women that joins us every week. She lives outside of Detroit, Michigan. And I spent some time talking with her personally and just asking her about, how can we do this better? And what is this doing for you? And she was just very gracious with her time and just very appreciative to our church. I'll also share another story this coming Sunday in the message. And this lady's from Alabama, and how she connected with our church was through relatives. And yet she absolutely considers Real Life Church her church. And to think that God can do that is just amazing to me. But that's who he is. It's his church. And that's a big part of the message this weekend. This is his church. And he does it. And our part's just to join and be a part.
Yeah, I think so. And I feel like a lot of people, the pandemic put things on hold. Yeah, we didn't feel like maybe we could serve like we had in the past. And it's been exciting to see, children's ministry open back up and have people serve there. But there's still a lot that's going on. And I'm excited to hear the vision of that too, of how, ways we can serve, because one of the missions, I think, aspect was something a lot of people at this church appreciated and valued. And a lot of that just had to shut down. So it gives us a good looking ahead, how can we look ahead and plan for that?
That's right. And it did, and it had to, because again, nobody's meeting. We don't even know what's coming. But now that we've had, a year and a half taste of this thing, we have to re-engage. And the good news is we can. And again, I'll share two specific partnerships this Sunday that we're going to engage. Very exciting. Just amazing that God's given us that opportunity to come alongside and help other churches get started. Still praying about and through Japan. That nation is still shut down, will continue to be shut down. They are much more strict at this point than we are. So continue to pray for those people, obviously, and for the opportunities for us to get back to that. But nationally and fairly regionally, God's given us two really big opportunities, and I'm busting at the seam to tell those about everybody on Sunday.
A lot to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. All right. So the message has not changed. We have some new ways we're getting it out there. We're, things at Real Life Church might look a little different with the new logo and focusing on discovering real life. But, real people discovering real life was what we were before. So it's just a step forward in a new world, don't you think, in a lot of ways?
Absolutely. And you said it right. Our message is the same. It's always been the same. The gospel doesn't change. It hasn't changed since we started the church. It's not going to change 100,000 years from here. The gospel does not change. The message is the same, but the methods change, environments change, how we do things change, but that's just a part of it. It's always going to be that way. And so it's exciting to see the new things that the Lord has opened up the doors for us to do. And I'm just as excited about some of the environmental changes, that we're going to spruce up different areas and make them look better. And hopefully people have picked up on that just walking into the worship center, just some of the lighting that's been done, some of the newer sound. I just walked out of a sound test. Hopefully that will enhance our sound even more so in the weekend worship experience, which also helps online too. So just a lot of cool stuff going on. And let me just be clear too, it's all because of the good giving of the people in this church. I have shared this. I'll even share this again. Everybody needs to know this. When the pandemic started, we basically had to just shut down everything. We didn't know what we were entering into. That was the best year of giving we've ever experienced in the history of this church. So entering into 2020, you're thinking, well, okay, we'll better keep a good eye on this. We've seen even better giving this year than last year. I mean, you think about the times that we're living in, It's just mind-boggling that God has burdened our hearts to continue to invest in his kingdom. And that's why we're able to do our partnerships. That's why we're able to spruce up things. That's why we're able to change some things that's needed to be changed, like our logos and designs and things of that nature, just to help people better understand who we are as a church. So praise God for all of that. But the real blessing is that people have seen that and they've given and invested in, and it's so humbling to participate in a church that they just get it. So church family, thank you. Thank you that you get it. Thank you that you give. Thank you that you invest, and your investment goes to touch the world. I mean, there's a reason I like to sit in this map room and see that map behind us.
Yeah.
Because it's about all these people, not just here, but everywhere. And God's given us an opportunity. And because of your investment, we will continue to do what we've always done. And that's to share the gospel and to fulfill the mission of Jesus's great commission to us from Matthew 28, 19, and 20.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I hope people know that the giving that they do does go out to the whole world, and it also pays for the things that need to happen here. And
That's right.
It's all of that, and it's things that you want to talk about, like doing something out in another country, but it's also the light bill, and it's new staff, and
That's right.
all those nuts and bolts that it takes to get the message out.
Well, just like what we're doing here. I mean, we didn't have a blog 2 years ago.
No, that's right.
We didn't have these Zooms, and you didn't have all these equipment pieces that we have to have to do that. But God's using it and allowing us to use it to touch others, reach our community, reach our world. And so our investment together as the church continues to share the gospel around the world. And it's just a humbling thing to be a part of that.
That's great. That's good. Thank you, Mike, for talking with us today. I'm excited about everything that's going to be rediscovered this weekend.
I'm excited too. I'm about to bust to go. Let's get on with it. Let's do this thing.
That's good. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. You can find a real life moment on anywhere you find your podcast. You can see it on our YouTube channel. If you have questions about Real Life Church, or if you need to talk to a staff member, go to discoverreallife.net/connect and fill out our easy form there. We'd be happy to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank y'all.